from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, President Joe Biden visits the U.S. Capitol in search of Democratic support for his multi-trillion-dollar domestic agenda.
Outside with live cam, it is humid. I didn't see any fog on my way in this morning, but there's just something in my bones that tells me we could have some in the area. Good morning, everybody. We've made it to Thursday. It is the 15th of July.
Thanks for joining us this morning. You're right about the humidity. What a change.
Yeah, it continues to be an issue around here, but mid-70s isn't too bad. Mike Osterhage is here. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, and as far as fog, you summed it up perfectly, where you didn't see any, but in some cases it's getting really thick. You know, yesterday we had a lot of thick fog that developed later in the morning, and we're already seeing some of that as of right now. And a couple of showers are out there, although not many. Most of those are to the east. This picture is not bad. However, you keep going further off to the east and to the northeast, and you can see down to just a third of a mile visibility at Randolph, 1 mile at New Braunfels. That just dropped down to a mile and a half just a couple of moments ago. A little bit of fog around Castroville, Pleasanton as well. So it will be sticking around. It may improve at times, but get thicker then as the morning rolls on. And with rain, yeah, we got a few showers well off to the east, and it looks like we'll still have a couple of showers and thunderstorms around today. But if you had to kind of direct to one part of the area, I think the majority are going to be further to the east. That doesn't mean a couple of stragglers are not going to try and work their way to the west, but again, the majority of rain will be further off to the east later on today. We do have a moderate amount of mold in the atmosphere. Pigweed is on the low side, and throughout the day, once again, going to be staying. We only hit 89 again yesterday, 90. Cloud covers, very dependent. You get a little more sunshine, may get up into the low 90s, but still well below normal. A couple of those showers and storms, again, primarily to the east. Rain chances will still stay very, very low for the next couple of days. Then we look at next week. More on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. President Joe Biden going all in on infrastructure.
Biden held a special meeting with governors, mayors, and Senate Democrats to discuss the frameworks of two proposals on the table. CNN's John Lawrence has the latest.
President Joe Biden making a rare return to the halls of Capitol Hill to sit down with Senate Democrats with a clear message on infrastructure. Let's get it done.
Great to be home, great to be back with all my colleagues, and I think we're going to get a lot done.
The president pitching two plans in hopes of unifying Senate Democrats behind him, a more than $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure and jobs proposal, and a more sweeping budget package with the sticker price of $3.5 trillion that can be pursued through reconciliation.
We're going to get this done. We are getting this done.
Despite fears that the $3.5 trillion tag on the reconciliation package might scare away Republican support, some GOP senators say they're committed to coming to a resolution.
We're continuing with our bipartisan effort. That's what I'm working on.
Well, our bipartisan talks are totally separate from that. We're still working.
President Biden says he's not worried that having two plans will halt efforts to come to a bipartisan agreement.
No, I think it's the only way to get it done is have those two tracks.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Texas Republican lawmakers still showing up at the state capitol, even though more than 50 Democrats who bolted for Washington, D.C. say they have no plans to return soon. GOP lawmakers are labeling Democrats as obstructionists who are blocking not just new voting measures, but widely popular proposals to lower property taxes and give Texas teachers more money. In Washington, those Texas Democrats continue to defend their decision to leave the state.
The White House is thinking about adding an emergency hotline with China as tensions remain high. According to U.S. officials, to sum it up, if the U.S. wants to talk to Chinese leaders, it needs a fast way to get through. And a so-called red phone, like was used during the Cold War, might be the answer. It could be part of a broader effort to reduce the risk of conflict between the two countries. According to a U.S. official, the device would let President Biden and top national security officials send encrypted phone calls and messages to China's leader. It comes amid mounting concerns among U.S. national security officials about China's increasingly offensive military.
Haiti has received 500,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines from the United States. The vaccines will be given to Haitians free of charge. It's part of the government's pledge to donate about 12 million doses to Caribbean and Latin American countries. 31 nations in the Caribbean and Latin America have received about 26 million doses through the UN-backed COVAX global vaccine program. So far, only 14% of the region's population have been vaccinated, with some countries having only vaccinated 1% of their population.
And time now is 4:35 and it's about 75 degrees out there.
Trying to make your outdoor living area look better? How about an outdoor rug? We'll tell you which ones work the best.
And a big night for the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals, evening up the series with a much-needed win. Highlights are next.
And checking back in with Mike Ostrey with more details on what to expect on your Thursday weather-wise and the extended forecast jumping into our weekend. It is officially mid-July. Thanks for starting your day with GMSA. Time for Looking Sports. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks looking to even up the NBA Finals at home last night. And this is all about the Bucks' Chris Middleton. He scored 40 points, including 10 straight for Milwaukee down the stretch to send them past the Phoenix Suns 109-103 to even the series 2-2. Phoenix led by 2 with 2 minutes left, but Middleton's hot hand and a big block from Antetokounmpo gave the Bucks their second straight victory in the first close game of the series. Antetokounmpo had 26 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. Devin Booker scored 42 for the Suns, but his foul trouble cost them a chance to build a big lead in the second half. Chris Paul struggled through a 5-for-13 night, finishing with 10 points and 5 turnovers. The Bucks' big finish means these NBA Finals are just getting started.
Whatever we're doing here, we got to find a way to do it there. The only way we can win this series is if we get one on the road. It would be nice to get this next one, but first we got to get some rest, figure out how to clean up a couple of things, and come out and get ready to go.
Game 5 is Saturday in Phoenix. You can watch the game starting at 8 right here in KSAT. Game 6 scheduled for Tuesday in Milwaukee. Another tough night for the San Antonio Missions down in Corpus Christi. After 2 scoreless innings, the Missions took an early lead and scored a run in the top of the third. But later, San Antonio left 12 runners on base. And after 10 innings, the team lost 3-2 to the Hooks. Series continues tonight in Corpus Christi. On to boxing now before climbing into the ring against Brian Castano at the AT&T Center this Saturday night for the Unified Super World Welterweight Championship. Jermell Charlo visited the Boys and Girls Club of San Antonio yesterday, and he didn't come alone. He brought along the Spurs Coyote to visit with the kiddos, and they didn't leave empty-handed. So Charlo surprised the kids with a cool gift.
Just chose to give them tickets because it's a brilliant thing. Maybe they'll, like I said, get inspired to be a boxer. They come to a live event, and I know San Antonio is really big on basketball, but turning into some boxing, that'll be an amazing opportunity for the kids.
You can still get tickets for the Saturday night fight at AT&TCenter.com.
Glad he went out to visit the kids and the Coyote as well.
Good to see the Coyote.
Yeah.
440, about 75 degrees.
And if you're looking for a new outdoor rug, it's more than choosing one with a good look. We're going to tell you which materials work best against rain, dirt, heat, and bacteria.
Welcome back. 443. It's been a mild spring, fairly mild summer, so a lot of people are spending more time outdoors, enjoying the pleasant temperatures.
An outdoor rug is an easy way to add style to the porch or patio. So 12 on Your Side's Marilyn Moritz looks at how to pick the right one and make it last.
An outdoor rug can make the space. There are plenty of weather-resistant options. So how do you know which ones are best? Jessica Bui transformed a dirt space with pavers and a rug.
It feels like an extension of my living room in a sense. So it feels like it's a place to go and hang out.
How long a rug lasts depends on where you put it.
We consulted industry experts and found that there are big differences in how your rug will react with the type of surface it's placed on. and don't expect them to last a lifetime.
Unlike typical outdoor furnishings, outdoor rugs don't have a long lifespan, typically 3 to 7 years, shorter if it's humid. Besides sun fading, moisture can be the big enemy, causing mold and mildew, damaging the surface underneath.
Unless it's sealed, a concrete surface can be porous and become mildewed, and a rug placed on grass or wood will also trap moisture beneath.
When shopping, breathability matters. Look for rugs labeled polypropylene or olefin. It's the same plastic used in ropes and sportswear, and it resists fading and staining. Other synthetics like nylon, acrylic, and polyester tend to be more resilient than natural fibers like sisal and seagrass. The fabric borders will absorb water and can harbor fungi and bacteria, so they're best indoors. Whatever type rug you have, it will last longer if you occasionally hang it up and allow it to dry. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
4:45, and we had more showers and storms in the area yesterday. I submitted a picture to Penn's of the most vibrant double rainbow I have seen in my life last night.
Everybody has been, there's a ton of rainbow pictures. Well, obviously one behind me right now. Pretty. So, no, I was just thinking about those outdoor rugs. They're fantastic, except when the wind comes in, it flops them over unless they're bolted down, it seems like, with some of these thunderstorm winds.
And I was sitting at a restaurant last night right before I spotted one of these rainbows, and one of those outflow boundaries you're often talking about blew right through, blew people off the patio. Flags were flapping like it was a tropical storm.
It was interesting because my one son is lifeguarding and at a local pool, and they heard thunder, and he says, "How long is this going to last?" And I was looking at the weather app with the radar on there, which get it because you can see, and those outflow boundaries, they do show up on there. And it's like, okay, this thing is coming in here. And it's like, here it comes, there it comes, whew, and then right away, and the outdoor rug goes plump and flops.
Did they have
over.
to close the pool?
Oh, yeah. Whenever you hear lightning, then they have to wait and always reset. So, and by the way, if there's ever any storms, that's a very good rule to abide by. Just because maybe a storm has passed or is not in your area doesn't mean you're not in danger of lightning. So always be very careful if there's any storms anywhere in the area to not be outside and to take shelter. All right, back to the rainbow pictures. And yeah, what a great shot. I mean, perfectly framed with the flag right there. And the double rainbow, you can barely make out right about in there is the second one, but that's a great picture. And we may see a couple more today, especially off to the east. Rain chances do still exist, but they look like they are going to be dropping down a little bit as we go on into today. And majority of those will be further off to the east. Here's what it looks like out there at the airport right now. And not bad looking off to the east, but then you go further. Now, actually, visibility has improved up to now 1.33 miles. That's in 20 minutes since we first started this morning. New Braunfels is up to 8 miles visibility, 5 still at Pleasanton, 4 Castroville. But these numbers can change just as they improved. The fog can get thicker very quickly, and there is some fog around Uvalde, Pleasanton, and then Beeville, some thicker fog. So we'll have to watch out for that this morning. Here's the satellite radar loop, and again, you go back and time, and there's those thunderstorms that popped up, and they had those outflow boundaries with them, dropped temperatures down very quickly, very windy conditions. Now, this morning, the only thing really showing up on radar, this is some clutter around the radar site there. Off to the east, we've got a few of these showers, and it looks like this is where most of the rain, looking at some of the computer models, where things are sort of settling down a little bit. That doesn't mean we won't see rain. Again, the majority would be to the east. One or two of those may decide to pay a little visit further off to the west, so you can't completely discount it, but leaning more toward the east later on today, and that's going to be the situation tomorrow. And then going on into the weekend, rain chances will be lower. Temperatures, obviously, we won't have quite as much in the way of cloud cover, so temperatures should be dropping down somewhat, going up a little bit as we go into the weekend, leaning toward the lower and maybe even mid-90s. Then we've got another big system which is going to be moving on in here by next week. So what's going on? We still don't have the high sitting right smack on top of us, so we get these little disturbances around here. We don't have a tight lid on things, keeping any of those thunderstorms from developing. So that's the situation through the weekend, but again, not a great chance at any rain around here all the way through Sunday and Monday. Then go into Tuesday. And here's this low developing here. This is going to up the rain chances once we get into Tuesday as well as Wednesday. And again, it's right in between those two big areas of high pressure. So this will obviously bump us up to more widespread rain, and then also with the cloud cover and that low, that's going to knock temperatures back down again. So still we're not looking at anything just off the charts as far as heat. Yay. 85 degrees, partly sunny skies today at noon, and then we'll call it partly cloudy. Again, a couple of showers, storms, mainly to the east. That's going to be the majority of them further off to the east. Tomorrow, lesser rain chances, and through the weekend, temperatures start to go up just a little bit, and then we're going to be going into the middle part of next week, and yeah, rain chances are going to be going up, and temperatures will be down. Once again, we'll be close to 10 degrees below normal for highs middle of next week.
I'm still stunned. I have a very small front yard, and it looks like the Augusta National Golf Course right now.
Yes, we saw that as well.
And some of the plants and flowers and everything, it's like
it's still going.
Forest out there.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Well, now to Free Britney fans gathering across the country celebrating this morning after the pop star's victory in court.
A judge has allowed Britney Spears to hire her own attorney. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the latest.
This morning, Britney Spears is celebrating. Overnight, she posted to Instagram saying, "New with real representation today. I feel gratitude and blessed. This is me celebrating by horseback riding and doing cartwheels today." In court Wednesday, the judge granted Spears' request to hire her own lawyer in the fight to end her 13-year conservatorship controlled by her father. Celebrity attorney Matthew Rosengart will now represent her.
The question remains, why is he involved? He should step down voluntarily, as that is in the best interest of Britney Spears.
In court, a tearful Spears called in by phone, demanding her father, Jamie Spears, be removed from her conservatorship, saying she wants him charged with conservator abuse. Spears saying, "I am here to get rid of my dad." The singer claiming, "I was extremely scared of my dad." Spears detailed what she calls her illegal work schedule, in which she says she was forced to be available 10 hours per day, every day. And at times, she says her caretakers took away her hair vitamins and even her coffee. There will be another court hearing on Monday in which the judge will examine Jody Montgomery's request for security to be paid out from the trust, as she claims she's receiving death threats. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
451, about 75 degrees.
Coming up next, Marvel's latest series that just wrapped up season 1 on Disney Plus is now getting a second season.
A lot of Loki fans out there. Pick 3 numbers this morning: 900, Fireball 5, daily 4 numbers 3817, Fireball 7.
Cash 5, 3, 8, 9, 22, 25. Lotto Texas 5, 7, 11, 37, 43, 54. And your Powerball numbers 33, 46, 52, 59, 62, Powerball 10, Powerplay 2. Good luck.
A new push to get younger people vaccinated, plus a Marvel Disney Plus series is getting a second season.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Michelle Franzen.
Pop star Olivia Rodrigo spent part of Wednesday at the White House with President Biden and Dr. Anthony Fauci as part of an effort to encourage younger people to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The singer and actress known for hits, Driver's License, and Good For You is making videos urging young people to get the shot.
And to have conversations with friends and family members, encouraging all communities to get vaccinated.
The videos will be shared on her social media and on White House accounts.
No one bad is ever truly bad.
Marvel has revealed that there will be a second season of Loki. Pay close attention to a scene during the credits of the final episode of season 1.
Glorious.
At the 42 minutes and 48 seconds mark of the show, an on-screen message says simply, Loki will return in season 2. Loki streams on Disney Plus. And happy birthday to Oscar winner Forrest Whitaker. And Grammy Award-winning singer Linda Ronstadt is 75 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
What was that, Mike? What's that?
Remember her song Blue Bayou?
It was our huge hit. Yeah. I do remember that.
Mention that.
That's okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Time now, 4:56 and about 75 degrees right now.
Well, as we've been reporting this week, new COVID cases are on the rise in the U.S. thanks to the rapidly spreading Delta variant. How local and federal health officials are pushing for more vaccinations ahead of the upcoming school year.
And taking a look outside with TransGuide this morning, there's a look at Highway 90. Things are moving with the vehicles that are out there right now. Stephen Cavazos is waiting in the wings to take over with the traffic report that's coming up after the break.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
San Antonio Police Department trying to identify 2 suspects involved in separate incidents. Details coming up.
COVID cases are on the rise, and children not yet eligible to be vaccinated are targeted. I'm Mike Ajachi. Coming up, a look at what hospitals around the country are dealing with.
And taking a look outside with Live Cam this morning, a humid start to your day after all that rain we got yesterday.
And good morning to you. It is Thursday, the 15th of July.
Thanks for joining us this morning. It was nice to see the rain for me, but it was interesting too, because for us, the afternoon time I guess it was about noon or 1, it was so hot, just gleaming hot, just with the sun. And I took my little girl to the splash pad, and then, by the evening, it's just pouring.
It was. We did have more downpours in the area. Not everybody saw rain. Here's Mike.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case again today. It looks like most of the rain, I think, if you had to lean one direction or the other, would be further off to the east. Again, they'll be few and far between. Right now, we're starting off just about like every other morning, 75 degrees. Dew point, though, is up a little bit compared to the past couple of mornings. We're at 74 as of right now, and we'll make it up right around 90 today. Still have that small chance for some rain. Again, the majority of rain, and that doesn't mean there won't be 1 or 2 showers or storms possible here in town, but the majority would be further off to the east. The aquifer did go up 0.6 of a foot. It's gone up in the past, since the 4th of July, about past 2 weeks or so, about 10 feet, which is just fantastic news. Mold is moderate and pigweed is on the low side. One thing we're dealing with this morning, like yesterday, is some patchy fog. Now, Randolph is at 1 2/3 miles visibility. New Braunfels 7. Both of those numbers have gone up from just about 45 minutes ago. It was actually down to 1/3 of a mile at one point at Randolph. So they've gone up a little bit and then go the other direction very quickly as well. 5 miles visibility at Pleasanton, 4 Castroville, and then still just a half mile down around Beeville. So we'll still be dealing with a little bit of this fog in and around the area. Where there is fog, there may be a little mist on the roads too. So just keep that in mind. Radar right now, the only thing showing up is off to the east, just those few little speckles of showers out there. Again, this is the general direction where we would see more rain today. So a couple of showers are possible, or some of that mist with some of that patchy fog, and then a few showers, thunderstorms, again, mainly to the east. That doesn't mean they'll just be confined there, but that's the best opportunity. Over the weekend, tomorrow through the weekend, 1 or 2 showers here or there. Rain chances are going to be very, very low, not completely out of the picture. Also, temperatures are going to start to get a bit warmer. Not anything too extreme, so don't worry about that. Then we go into next week, starting Tuesday, rain chances really go up. Temperatures really go down the middle part of next week. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority Stephen Cavazos is in the house. Good morning, sir. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, the roads are looking pretty smooth right now at this hour. We're seeing that we're getting a little bit more vehicles out on the roadways. The view at TransGuide shows Loop 410 north at Ingram, 410 at McCullough. Yeah, things are moving pretty smoothly, although we did spot what looks like a stalled vehicle out off I-10 at Probent that just popped up on that TransGuide shot. We'll see in a few moments, but we'll go ahead and see how that impacts your commute. But for now, let's go ahead and jump to some of the things that you're going to want to be aware of if you're going to be heading out the door here in the next few moments. Now, there is a stalled vehicle that is reported right over here off I-35 southbound, right at Loop 410. Thankfully, it's still early enough to where we are not seeing any issues when it comes to traffic, but be sure to be aware if you see those vehicles pulled over to the side to move an extra lane over. Now, something you need to be prepared for that is later today. There's going to be a lane closure due to utility work on Loop 1604 westbound on that frontage road. Now, that'll be from Stone Oak Parkway to Blanco Road from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can see we are seeing a little bit of congestion there in Blanco Road. Take a look at our inbound times. Things are looking pretty green so far. We're going to take a look and see how traffic wraps up throughout the day, but stay with us here on GMSA for the very latest.
Thank you, Stephen. This morning, San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers asking for your help solving a pair of robberies.
Jonathan Cotto joins us live with the details on the two cases. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Investigators are trying to locate and identify two suspects in separate incidents. The first in a robbery near an East Side apartment complex, and the second at a bakery on the city's west side. Back on May 29th, the person on your screen confronted a 59-year-old man in the 4100 block of East Houston Street near the Roseville apartments. When that man refused, the suspect choked him and then took off. The second robbery happened back on June 16th at the La Poblanita Bakery, which is in the 2400 block of North Zarzamora Street. Investigators believe the person on your screen went into the bakery and demanded money while pointing at his hand that was wrapped in a rag or shirt. He then fled the scene. If you have any information that could lead to an arrest, you can call the number on your screen. You could be eligible for a cash reward of up to $5,000. For GMSA, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, a knock on the door has brought trouble to a West Side home. San Antonio police say a man inside that home was shot after answering the door.
Katrina Weber is live where it happened in the 4100 block of El Paso Street near South General McMullen. Katrina, do police know what prompted this?
Well, they say the only thing they know is that the shooter knocked on the door of that home across the street. And when the man inside, and he asked for money, and when the man inside refused, he pulled the trigger. Now, he left that victim, the man in his 40s, bleeding inside his home here in the 4100 block of El Paso. Police found him here when they answered the call around 3 this morning. That man had been shot in the chest. They say he was in critical condition as he was rushed to a hospital. The shooter took off in a hurry, too. Witnesses say he ran away from this area, and police have not found him yet. Now, they just wrapped up their investigation a little while ago, and from what they told me, they have a pretty vague description of the shooter, simply a man in a dark-colored shirt. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And thank you, Katrina. 5:06 right now. This morning, the Delta variant spreading across the country, driving up cases and hospitalizations.
Cases are up over 10% in at least 42 states. ABC's Ika Jachi is in Washington with more.
This morning, hospitals in Mississippi consumed with severe cases of COVID-19 attacking children.
We're seeing more symptomatic children, and children seem to be able to spread the disease to each other much more readily.
The concern is growing for kids not yet eligible for a COVID shot. Mississippi health officials are reporting 7 children with COVID are currently being treated in the ICU, 2 of them on ventilators.
I suspect that's probably because this Delta variant is imparting a little more severe illness in the pediatric population.
At least 44 states and territories are reporting a weekly increase in COVID-19 cases, with the Delta variant now estimated to account for close to 58% of all new cases. Some health experts labeling the new numbers a harbinger of what's to come.
We can expect to see hospitalizations rise. We'll probably see deaths go up.
In New York City, cases more than doubling in just 1 week, from 182 on July 6th to 429 on July 12th. In Los Angeles County, a 500% jump in cases over the past month. Health experts say every single patient hospitalized has not been fully vaccinated.
Even in large cities, there are still large pockets of unvaccinated people. So if you don't get vaccinated, you are basically going to get infected.
But the race to vaccinate reaching a new milestone. More than 160 million Americans are now fully vaccinated. And this morning, new data shows Johnson & Johnson's single-shot vaccine is strong and stable after 8 months and also offers good protection against the Delta variant. Elsewhere in Jacksonville, Florida, hospitals are canceling some elected surgeries because of surging COVID cases. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
And here at home, local health officials say hospitalizations have jumped with 258 COVID-19 patients. They say these patients are mostly those who turned away the vaccine, and it reflects a national trend. In Bexar County, the positivity rate has nearly doubled in a week to more than 11%. Metro Health blames the increase on young people who are eligible but still refuse the vaccine.
We plead with all of you to get your shots. It's free. There's multiple places to go. And you're putting our community in a jeopardy by not doing that.
Health leaders say the Delta variant is here and it's more contagious. With students returning to school in about a month, there's a rush to protect those younger than 12 who cannot get the vaccine right now and those with compromised immune systems. Metro Health has hosted roughly 300 vaccine clinics. They still have free testing and free pop-up clinics. Just head to ksat.com to see the list of all of those locations.
Right now it's 5:09, about 75 degrees.
And still ahead, Microsoft is putting PCs in the cloud thanks to a brand new program. We'll get a first look at Windows 365.
And outside with live cam, Mike says we might see some fog in different areas. This is kind of an elevated camera shot, so it already looks a little hazy as we wait for the sun to come up on your Thursday. It's 5:13 on your Thursday. Witness testimony resumed for day 3 of the capital murder trial of Otis McCain yesterday. The man accused of shooting and killing San Antonio Police Detective Benjamin Marconi back in the fall of 2016.
Emotions ran high as those who saw the Marconi's killing recounted their experience. Here's a recap of the testimony.
All right for the jury. Whenever I saw him, he went like that, and he kept going back to the car. And then I looked at him. I don't know if he saw me or not, but then I just clicked, oh, he shot him or something.
And that's when she screamed, he has a gun, Mom. He's got a gun.
Yes, and you said off, he said, my car. You said, what?
We ran up to the side of the officer's car, and I told my daughter, go sit over there, because I didn't want her looking. And I opened the door, and it was obvious by the hole in his temple that there was nothing to be done for him.
Like, as soon as he got out, I saw the weapon in his hand, so I knew that right there was something was going to happen. Best way I can explain it, when he opened the door, put in, shot, the officer never had a fighting chance.
And again, that was testimony from the trial of Otis McCain. Time now is 5:14 and we're about 75 degrees right now.
Still ahead, ready for another streaming service, how Netflix is getting ready to expand into video games.
Plus, we'll tell you what's so special about this $100,000 TV.
If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and a high risk for fracture, now might not be the best time to ask yourself, are my bones strong? Life's full of make or break moments. That's why it's so important to help reduce your risk of fracture with Prolia. Only Prolia is proven to help strengthen and protect bones from fracture with one shot every 6 months.
Do not take Prolia if you have low blood calcium, are pregnant, are allergic to it, or take Xgeva. Serious allergic reactions like low blood pressure, trouble breathing, throat tightness, face, lip, or tongue swelling, rash, itching, or hives have happened. Tell your doctor about dental problems, as severe jawbone problems may happen, or new or unusual pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred. Speak to your doctor before stopping, skipping, or delaying Prolia, as spine and other bone fractures have occurred. Prolia can cause serious side effects like low blood calcium, serious infections, which could need hospitalization, skin problems, and severe bone, joint, or muscle pain.
Don't wait for a break. Call your doctor now and ask how Prolia can help you.
In today's Tech Bites, Microsoft is putting PCs in the cloud. Windows 365 is a service that will stream Windows in a web browser, allowing businesses to quickly access the operating system from a wide range of devices. It rolls out next month as more businesses go hybrid, working from the office and from home. Netflix is expanding into video games. The streaming service had been hinting that it would move into the space for a couple of years, but now it's reportedly hired a former gaming executive to lead the effort. No word on when any games will be ready for playing. And LG's much anticipated rollable TV is finally coming to the U.S. Priced at $100,000, the 65-inch screen can roll itself up from its housing unit and then roll back down. It also has a partial screen display mode for info like time and weather. Pre-orders begin next month. Those are your Tech Bites.
And we shall take 4 or 5. Chris, do you
Right.
want one too?
Of course.
What are the $100,000 team? Okay.
Yeah, we'll just bring them all here in the studio. You should have seen Mike's face.
Let's check traffic. Here's Stephen Cavazos.
You know, then there's no point in going to the movies anymore, right? You can just stream it and stay at home.
No, we still
thought.
want to drive to the movies.
Yeah, okay, the popcorn's the real deal breaker there.
Exactly.
You know, things are looking pretty good so far, 2-1 at Almost. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these views at TransGuide to show you how smooth things are looking so far. Loop 410 at Marbach looked a little bit quiet, but we're starting to see more vehicles getting out on the roadways now that the morning is picking up. But let's go ahead and get to that map. As you can see, there's not real many issues happening right now in the Alamo City or some of our neighboring communities. But we do want to get to what we're spotting here is a stalled vehicle right at I-35 southbound at Loop 410. We told you about it a little bit earlier. It does look like at least one lane is affected while that stalled vehicle is reported out there. So just use some caution and make sure you check your vehicles before getting on the roadway. Jumping over here to another stall over I-10 eastbound right at Colorado Street. Thankfully, these stalled vehicles are not creating any issues when it comes to traffic or the commute. But some of the things that we do want to get to are things that you can probably expect later today, later this morning, that is, over here off Loop 1604 over in South San Antonio. Now, what's going on there are some road improvements. It's a single lane closure in both directions. Now, where this is going to be happening is from I-35 to FM 2536. That'll be going on today and wrapping up around 6 this afternoon, that is. So something to be on the lookout for if this is in your travel route. But bringing it back to TransGuide, things are looking pretty smooth so far, but we will be watching the roads closely as always.
Thank you, Stephen.
It was a double rainbow Wednesday.
Everybody, it seems like, saw the double rainbows yesterday. So this is an interesting picture, though, because it's kind of hard to make out all the colors. It just looks like a couple of orange streaks in the sky.
It's like double rainbows against the sunset.
Yeah. Really cool looking though. I love that. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. And right now we are starting off. You see a little bit of a kind of a fuzzy look off in the distance there, looking off to the east. That's where more of the fog is. Now, just a couple of minutes ago, Randolph was at about 1 2/3 miles visibility. Now it's dropped down to 3/4 mile, down to 5 at New Braunfels, so it has gotten a little bit thicker there. And Pleasanton is down to 4 miles visibility. So we're going to be dealing with some of this fog here and there. Watch it around Stinson, that you'll start to see some of that. And then also this, like it did yesterday, is probably going to be moving in toward the airport, so we may see visibility drop down there. And with some of the fog, it could be a little bit of mist. The roads could be on the damp side. Now, elsewhere, Beeville, just 3/4 mile visibility. That has actually gone up a little bit. Not bad in parts of the hill country, but it's not really confined to any one area. So there is some out there to the west as well, Uvalde and Carrizo Springs. All right, yesterday, high temperatures. Once again, well below normal, 6 degrees below normal, as a matter of fact, here in town at 89. And today we're pretty much going for the same thing. What's interesting is there's no triple digits on this map. Obviously, close to it out there in Del Rio in your backyard may hit 100, but this is just really unusual. Obviously, that kind of goes without saying. Upper 80s, low 90s. Again, it's going to be very dependent upon cloud cover. Yesterday, we had some of those showers and storms that popped up, and they were very spotty in nature, but where there were some of those storms, it dumped a whole lot of rain real quickly, about an inch in some of these bullseye spots in this one area that moved from Pleasanton up in toward San Antonio and Bexar County, and then up on the northeast side, almost 2 inches of rain fell very quickly. Ground saturated, so that's what we may see again today as far as rain. Now, don't have much out there, a couple little sprinkly showers off to the east. That's where most of the rain, I think, is going to be confined today, which is what this computer model does indicate. Going into the next couple of days, rain chances are not going to be all that great. Same thing Sunday into Monday. Then it changes. Tuesday into Wednesday, we have much better rain chances moving in here, and temperatures are going to be down almost 10 degrees below normal again. 85 at noon today, partly sunny skies, and high temperature up to 90. A shower or two is possible, mainly off to the east. If you do get one of these showers, could have some hefty downpours with it. A couple of thunderstorms too. Same thing tomorrow. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, rain chances are very low. Temperatures will be approaching mid-90s, and then we get that next system moving in here. Very unusual for mid-July. More rain, lower temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday.
Thank you, Mike. About 5:23, 75 degrees.
And up next in your morning spotlight, Gabriel Iglesias talks about voicing Speedy Gonzalez in the new Space Jam film. Plus, animated characters battled it out in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
Today's entertainment news includes plenty of animation for the big and small screen.
Here's CNN's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Abuela, let's do this. What's happening, bro?
Speedy Gonzalez makes like Neo from The Matrix in Space Jam: A New Legacy. Comedian Gabriel Iglesias is the first Mexican actor to voice the Mexican mouse.
Because Speedy Gonzalez has always been a good character at home. He's always been, adored, appreciated, and he was like our superhero. We didn't have anybody. And he made it clear he was Mexican every time he opened his mouth. Ay, de fascismos en all Mexico, arriba! I'm like, wow, he said it again.
Here's your first look at Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. The just-announced fighting game features a familiar cast of characters, including SpongeBob SquarePants, Reptar from the Rugrats, and the Ren and Stimpy side character Powdered Toast Man. It's game on for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl on all current-gen gaming consoles this fall. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Fluffy was made to do cartoon voiceovers.
He's doing a great job from the clips that we see here for Space Jam.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. Right now, about 5:28, 75 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA. Nearly all of hospitalized COVID-19 patients right now are unvaccinated. We have the story of one of those people who was hospitalized and eventually passed away, and the message from his wife.
And do you think you have what it takes to be the director of taco relations? We'll tell you about this unique job opportunity and how much it pays.
Whenever you get to, do a sample or taste test. Kids with ADHD are often prescribed stimulant drugs such as Adderall or Ritalin, but what happens as those kids become adults? Ahead on GMSA at 6, more on what's being called the Adderall generation.
Making headlines this morning, new data from COVID-19 patients in hospitals sparking a renewed effort to get people vaccinated.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, there's a little fog out there, so be careful when you head out this morning.
And good morning. If you're just now waking up, it is Thursday, July 15th.
Thanks for joining us today. It's a little more humid. I think, it's not too bad, as far as the temperature goes, 75 degrees. But you said the dew point, I guess, is the difference?
That's the measure of moisture in the atmosphere is kind of the simple way to put it. And that's how you figure out relative humidity. So we've got a temperature right now right around 75 degrees, which is the normal low. And then you've got a dew point of 74, which means the atmosphere, because you can't get above that number, and nor can the temperature drop below that number. But, you factor these two together and you've got well up into the 90s as far as the percentage of humidity. So the atmosphere can hold about as much water, is almost at as much moisture as it can hold. And with that situation and a little bit of a little bit of a breeze out there, that's what's helping to cause some of this fog out there. Visibility is down to 2/3 of a mile now. Randolph, it has dropped once again at Braunfels to 3 miles for Pleasanton, and still just 3/4 of a mile down to the southeast in Beeville. Austin has a lot of thick fog as well. And then we have some out to the west and southwest around Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, Uvalde, a little bit of fog there. So we'll be dealing with some of this throughout the rest of the morning. And as far as rain, a couple little sprinkly showers well off to the east. This is where, to pick one area, it's going to be the better chance of rain is going to be further to the east later on today. Moulton's moderate, pigweed is on the low side. Again, that doesn't mean one or two of those showers might move a little further west, but that's generally speaking, off to the east is where we'll see the majority of the rain, and it won't be that much today. 85 at noon, 90 for a high temperature. But again, if you get one of these showers or thunderstorms like yesterday, it's going to dump a lot of rain very quickly, some gusty winds as well. Rain chances will be on the lower side, not only today, but also through the weekend. Next week, different situation. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos, what's the very latest on the highways and byways, sir?
Things are looking pretty good so far right now, Mike. Morning's shaping up to be pretty nice, although we are spotting a few issues when it comes to stalled vehicles. So we'll get to that in just a moment, but let's show you how some of these views from TransGuide Loop 410 right at Ingram. You can see that we're getting a few more people out on the highways, so it is looking pretty good so far if you're going to be heading out the door and getting on the road here in the next few minutes. Good time to grab that cup of coffee, although things are looking good right now. We do want to bring your attention to 3 stalls that are currently on our maps right now. This one here off I-37 southbound at Loop 410. We told you about it a little bit earlier. There's still one lane that's impacted right now because of that stall. Second stall that's still being reported is right here off I-10 eastbound at Colorado Street. And another one that just popped up is right here off I-37 southbound at Cesar Chavez Boulevard. So again, check your vehicles, check your tires, make sure your fluid is all good before you get out on the roadways this morning. Our inbound times are looking pretty good. Really quick here, I-10 coming in from Bernie. We got 25 minutes to the downtown San Antonio area, 26 minutes from 281 from Bulverde, and 25 minutes coming in from 35 and New Braunfels. Bringing it back here to TransGuide. Yeah, things are looking pretty good right now, but again, check your vehicles before you get your morning going, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. San Antonio police say a man who opened the door on his West Side home overnight was greeted by gunfire. They say he was shot by someone who knocked on that door. Katrina Weber is live at Public Safety Headquarters. Now, Katrina, you mentioned that he was shot in the chest. Is there an update on his condition?
The police told me that man did suffer a life-threatening injury and that he was in critical condition. Now, they believe that this was because he refused to give money to a stranger. Officers who answered that 911 call around 3 this morning found the victim inside his home. This happened in the 4100 block of El Paso Street near South General McMullen. Police say the victim answered his door after someone knocked early this morning. He told them the man who we found outside asked for money, then shot him in his chest when he said he didn't have any. The shooter was last seen running from the house. The police searched the area but did not find him, and they told me they had a pretty vague description, just a man in a dark-colored shirt. Reporting live from Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
The optimism medical experts once had in the battle against COVID-19 is starting to fade.
This morning, more people are in the hospital with COVID-19, and as CNN's Brett Conway reports, experts say almost all of them are unvaccinated.
He was with me one day and gone the next.
Rob Tersteeg, a husband, a father. He was 46 years old, healthy, and had no underlying conditions. But last month, he died from COVID-19.
Rob thought that he was invincible.
And he never got vaccinated.
Rob's wish was to share his story.
It's a story becoming all too familiar around the country. Hospitalizations are skyrocketing in several states. You can see those in red and dark red. The common denominator?
99+% of people in the hospital with COVID right now are unvaccinated.
And the more contagious Delta variant now accounts for nearly 60% of new infections in the U.S.
The vaccines we've got right now, the Moderna, the Pfizer, the J&J, are very effective at protecting against this Delta variant. Unvaccinated people going into hospital and dying, vaccinated people essentially not.
But right now, a little more than 56% of people who can get vaccinated are fully vaccinated. Rob regretted not being one of them.
Rob looked at me and said, "Get the kids vaccinated right away. I don't ever want to see them like this." So the kids got their first shot the next day.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Other news this morning, U.S. government starting to deposit child tax credit money into the accounts of more than 35 million families. President Biden has expanded the credit for 1 year as part of coronavirus relief. The result is that most families will now qualify for monthly payments as much as $300 per child beginning today. The president is seeking to extend the payments and make them permanent. He says that would cut child poverty in half and help economic growth. Some Republican lawmakers say the payments will make parents less likely to work.
The Senate's top Democrat is backing a bill that would strike down a longstanding federal marijuana prohibition. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is a sponsor of the latest effort. The bill would treat marijuana much like alcohol or tobacco, allowing it to be taxed and regulated. States could still outlaw its use, and those under the age of 21 could not purchase it. It would remain illegal to sell significant quantities without proper licensing and authorization.
Time check 5:38, about 75 degrees.
Still ahead, before you put that sunscreen on, there's an important recall you need to know about.
We have details on that outside with live cam. We'll check back in with Stephen Cavazos and check on the morning commute. Be on alert for some possible fog out there. Micah's going to keep us posted all morning long.
And welcome back. It's about 5:41. In your morning consumer headlines, Johnson & Johnson is recalling some aerosol sunscreen products. The company says some samples of the products contain low levels of benzene, and benzene is classified as a human carcinogen. In a press release, Johnson & Johnson says consumers should stop using them. The impacted products include Neutrogena Cool Dry Sport Aerosol Sunscreen, Aveeno Protect and Refresh Aerosol Sunscreen, and Neutrogena Beach Defense Aerosol Sunscreen. So along with a few others, you can contact Johnson & Johnson's customer care line for a refund.
And there's our video popping up. All right, Delta Airlines has posted its first quarterly profit in more than a year. It's fueled by rebounding leisure travel along with some federal aid. Delta says profits hit $652 million in the most recent quarter.
And are tacos your favorite food? If so, the perfect opportunity is finally here. The spice company, McCormick, has created what some may call a dream job, the first ever director of taco relations. Oh, and it pays $100,000. The description says the director will be the official eyes and ears for all things taco. Not only will they keep tabs on social media, but they will also develop recipes, travel, and innovate in the McCormick lab. It's a part-time, limited engagement position lasting up to 4 months. But if you think you're a fit, you can submit a creative video on their website, no longer than 2 minutes, showing why you would be perfect for the job. That deadline is July 20th.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It's McCormick.com right there on the front page. 543, 75 degrees.
Up next, need a new pet? Mike is standing by with one who needs a new home right now.
Kim is here from the San Antonio Humane Society. And
morning.
This little boy, for being a puppy, 3 months old,
Yes.
you are just quiet. And it's not, you got to tuck in here.
Yes, that's Apple Strudel, a 3-month-old terrier mix.
Can you look this way so we can see your face?
It looks like he's a little camera shy, but likes to cuddle again, just to snuggle, give kisses. Oh, that's perfect.
Hello.
Sweet kisses. And again, wrap them up in a blanket, put them on your bed, just let them snuggle with you.
Well, Kim did not bring breakfast with her.
I did not.
even though,
I'm sorry.
She would have, but okay.
I should have. I
was a little confused when I saw cereal boxes. I'm like, you said this is enrichment for the dogs?
Yes. So what we need is, if you've got cereal boxes or snack boxes laying around your house, we take them and bring them into the Humane Society. And what we do is we will stuff them with enrichment items. And so it's treats. We'll take a treat and we wrap it up in newspaper and then give it to the dogs. And the dogs go into it, and it teaches them, it's kind of memory, like when we're putting together a puzzle, it's like a puzzle for them. And it keeps their memory going, it gives them other activities to do, it really lets them be dog.
That's a fantastic, I would have never thought about that. And of course, instead of chewing on the box, then they're going to go after the treat. And
Exactly.
you just pick it up.
And we just pick it up, yeah. So,
hey, that'd be something fun for the kids if they want to, collect boxes, even go around to the neighbors or something like that, and collect some of those, get some good use out of them.
Yes, absolutely. Anything that's just a soft cardboard, like this is soft, we'll take this. So come on by, put them in a bag, and we've got a donation bin sitting outside, and you can drop them in, and then let's just see what they're used for.
Simple as can be. If you want to drop it in there, it's 4804 Fredericksburg Road, or you can give them a call at 226-7461. Okay, look at the camera and go, adopt me, please.
Oh, he is.
That just might work.
Help him find a forever.
Cute little face.
He is our Dr. Doolittle. I mean, he does more, but
Yes, of course.
he's like a puppy whisperer. You get my point.
Yeah, we'll be talking to Mike shortly, but let's go ahead and check back with Steven Cavazos. There are a few stalled vehicles out there.
Yeah, and they're still out there, Steph, but before we get to that, we do want to show this view from TransGuide at I-10 East at Loop 1604. Pretty foggy out there right now, and if you're driving through that area, of course, you're going to want to take it slow, make sure you have the right beams on. But yeah, just take a look at that fog. It could create some pretty serious conditions if you're not taking it easy out on the road, and we'll have some tips of driving through fog later this morning on GMSA. But we did spot a slowdown out there, but it looks like things are picking up right at I-10 eastbound at South Gevers, 68 miles per hour now, but just take it slow out on the roads, guys. Now, giving you a wider scope of things, we've seen some resolution to a few stalls that we've had.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we have so many weather headlines. Iowa was just covered in tornadoes, at least 28 reported tornadoes. We'll bring you the latest pictures and information there. And then you go southwest, and the places that have been so stricken with drought now getting 4 to 5 inches of rain so quickly in just a couple of hours yesterday. The flash flooding that has taken over and the watches that are out now, at least. And nearly, actually, 70 large uncontained wildfires. Also, a big note that we have to get into. One of them is nearly 7 times the size of San Francisco. I'll be bringing you the forecast and tracking both sides of the country right here on GMA.
For the second year in a row, one city is taking the top spot for best places to live in the U.S. According to U.S. News and World Report, Boulder, Colorado is still named the best place to live. Boulder County offers more than 60 parks and 155 miles of hiking trails. The rankings are based on affordability, job prospects, and desirability. Austin, Texas ranks number 5. And in case you're wondering, San Antonio ranks 75th on the list of best places to live. Have you heard that buzzing noise outside? Some people in San Antonio have been searching social media to find the answer. As many native Texans know, cicadas are the culprit. We have all the information broken down in one article. It's online at ksat.com. Ahead the next hour, the NBA Finals continue right here on KSAT and ABC. The Bucks even the series with the Suns in a crucial Game 4. We have highlights from last night, plus a recap of Day 3 of the trial of Otis McCain, the man accused of shooting and killing San Antonio Police Detective Benjamin Marconi back in 2016. And we're staying on top of an overnight shooting at a West Side home. A man hit the chest after entering his front door. Katrina Weber is staying on top of this story. She's going to bring us the very latest. And we have flashing lights right now as we take a live look at TransGuide, I-35 at Nogalitos. Folks are tapping the brakes in that area. We will check back in with our traffic expert, Stephen Cavazos, in just a moment.
First came a knock and then came gunshots, according to San Antonio police. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. They say a man was shot inside his West Side home after answering his door. I'll tell you more about it.
The SAPD and Crime Stoppers needs your help in locating and identifying 2 suspects involved in separate incidents of robberies. Details coming up.
COVID cases are on the rise, and children not yet eligible to be vaccinated are targeted. I'm Mike Ajachi. Coming up, a look at what hospitals around the country are dealing with.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning. A little humid out there this morning, but what you really need to worry about is the fog in some areas.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It's Thursday, July 15th.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. It's almost Friday. Yay! But you have to drive through that fog, so be a little careful out there.
On your Friday Eve, Mike joins us now with more on how the visibilities might affect your morning commute.
Well, it's very patchy in nature. Some areas like the picture behind me, there's no fog out there at the airport as of right now, but you head over toward Randolph, the east side of town, going up I-35, you're going to run into a lot of this fog. And it's you can see a little bit of haze way off in the distance, but that's not a bad looking picture. Now, Randolph has gone up a little bit in visibility. It's up to, just about 9/10 of a mile, almost up to a mile. 6 miles at New Braunfels. That's improved ever so slightly. Same thing with Pleasanton and Castroville. And then there is more up around Austin that's actually thickened up quite a bit. And Beeville has dropped down to just a half-mile visibility as well, and some out to the west on top of that. So it's going to be sticking around for the next couple of hours. It may be thick in one spot. You may turn the corner, run into some of that fog. So just kind of watch it. But right now on the east side of San Antonio, East Bexar County is where you're going to be finding more of this. And Stephen's going to be checking out some of the TransGuide cameras over there. 75 right now. That's the normal low temperature. We're in the low to mid 70s around here. Nothing too extreme. And we do have a moderate amount of mold in the atmosphere. Pigweed is low. Throughout the rest of the morning, temperatures will stay fairly steady. We were down a couple of notches earlier this morning. And then we're going to be gaining about 10 degrees throughout the course of the morning, making it to the mid 80s with, call it partly sunny skies. We'll still have a few of the clouds left over here. And then we'll see more sunshine later on today. Only 90 for high temperature, which is 5 below normal. And as far as rain chances, there will be a few showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the eastern portion of our viewing area. It doesn't mean one or two won't try and work their way to the west, but if you had to kind of point to one direction, it's going to be further off to the east. Rain chances are going to be lower today and the next couple of days. Next week, different situation. Details coming up in a couple of moments. Traffic Authority right now. Stephen Cavazos, seeing a lot of fog out there, sir?
Yeah, I think even in this shot, maybe not as intensely as what we saw over off I-10, Arthur, close to 1604. We just changed the view there, our friends over there at TransGuide. But as you just saw, there is a stalled vehicle right here as we're moving it back to that situation here off I-35 in Nogalitos. You can see, yeah, it's a little bit foggy out there this morning, guys, so make sure you're using some caution before you hit the roadways. This stall is located off I-35 southbound at US 90. That right-hand shoulder, as you saw, is still blocked out there as we do have some roadside assistance that is being provided to that driver out in that area. But taking a wider look at things, it is relatively calm right now for this hour of the morning, and our inbound times are still looking pretty good right now. If you're coming in from Seguin, it's pretty green on I-10 with 28 minutes to the downtown San Antonio area, 22 minutes on 87 coming in from Lavernia, and 29 minutes coming in from Floresville. But we want to bring it back to TransGuide where, yeah, we do have some foggy conditions. And before we switch over to you guys, this situation over here off I-10 East and Loop 1604 does show just how foggy it is out in that area. We will have some driving tips coming up here in the next few minutes on GMSA. Mark, Stephanie?
Now to late breaking news. San Antonio police say a West Side man has opened the door to pain. They say he was shot by someone who knocked on his door overnight.
Katrina Weber has that story live from Public Safety Headquarters. Now, Katrina, have police made any arrests?
They have not, and from what they told me, it doesn't sound like they have a whole lot of information to help them track down that shooter. Now, they told me simply that they're looking for a man in a dark-colored shirt who knocked on the victim's door in the 4100 block of El Paso Street. That's near South General McMullen on the west side. When the man answered the door, he says the shooter asked for money, then pulled the trigger when he said he didn't have any. The victim, who's in his 40s, was shot in the chest and taken to a hospital in critical condition. The shooter took off. And again, police searched the area, but they did not find the shooter. Reporting live from Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
This morning, San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers are asking for your help solving a pair of robberies.
Jonathan Cotto joins us live with the details on the two cases. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Stephanie. That's right. The first robbery taking place near an East Side apartment complex, and the second at a bakery on the city's west side. Let's take a look at some of those images. The person on your screen confronted a 59-year-old man in the 4100 block of East Houston Street near the Roseville Apartments back on May 29th. When that man refused, the suspect choked him and then took off. The second robbery taking place on June 16th at La Poblanita Bakery in the 2400 block of North Zamora Street. Investigators believe the person on your screen went into the bakery and demanded money while pointing at his hand that was wrapped in a rag or shirt. That suspect then fled the scene. Mark, Stephanie, and viewers, if you have any information that could lead to an arrest, you're asked to call the number on your screen. You could be eligible for a cash reward up to $5,000. For GMSA, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. New this morning, one man is recovering after a shooting at a Northeast Side apartment complex. It happened around 11:30 last night at the Chevy Chase Apartments off of Northeast Loop 410. That's where police say a woman was moving out of her ex-boyfriend's apartment when another man, a 26-year-old man, showed up to help her. The two men started arguing, and that's when police say the man who came to help pulled out a rifle on the renter, and the renter pulled out a handgun and shot the 26-year-old man in the shoulder. That man was taken to the hospital. He is expected to be okay.
Also, an overnight cleanup underway following a fire at an East Side apartment complex. It happened in the 4600 block of Dietrich Road. That is just inside Loop 410. Firefighters were able to contain the fire to the top corner of the complex. There are no reports of any injuries. Witness testimony resumed for day 3 of the capital murder trial of Otis McCain, the man accused of shooting and killing San Antonio Police Detective Benjamin Marconi back in 2016. Emotions ran high as those who say they saw Marconi's killing recounted their experience. Here's a recap of that testimony.
All right, to the jury. Whenever I saw him, he went like that, and he kept going back to the car. And then I looked at him. I don't know if he saw me or not, but then I just clicked, oh, he shot him or something.
And that's when she screamed, he has a gun, Mom. He's got a gun.
Yes, and you said off, he's in a black car. You said, what? 10 minutes. It was like it.
the side of the officer's car. And I told my daughter, go sit over there, because I didn't want her looking. And I opened the door, and it was obvious by the hole in his temple that there was nothing to be done for him.
Like, as soon as he got out, I saw the weapon in his hand, so I knew that right there was something was gonna happen. Best way I could explain it, when he opened the door, put in, shot, the officer never had a fighting chance.
More coverage of the McCain trial on air and online at ksat.com. Turning to the coronavirus this morning, the Delta variant spreading across the nation, driving up cases and hospitalizations.
Cases are up over 10% in at least 42 states. ABC's Ike Ajachi is in Washington with more.
This morning, hospitals in Mississippi consumed with severe cases of COVID-19 attacking children.
We're seeing more symptomatic children, and children seem to be able to spread the disease to each other much more readily.
The concern is growing for kids not yet eligible for a COVID shot. Mississippi health officials are reporting 7 children with COVID are currently being treated in the ICU, 2 of them on ventilators.
I suspect that's probably because this Delta variant is imparting a little more severe illness in the pediatric population.
At least 44 states and territories are reporting a weekly increase in COVID-19 cases, with the Delta variant now estimated to account for close to 58% of all new cases. Some health experts labeling the new numbers a harbinger of what's to come.
We can expect to see hospitalizations rise. We'll probably see deaths go up.
In New York City, cases more than doubling in just 1 week, from 182 on July 6th to 429 on July 12th. In Los Angeles County, a 500% jump in cases over the past month. Health experts say every single patient hospitalized has not been fully vaccinated.
Even in large cities, there are still large pockets of unvaccinated people. So if you don't get vaccinated, you are basically going to get infected.
But the race to vaccinate reaching a new milestone. More than 160 million Americans are now fully vaccinated. And this morning, new data shows Johnson & Johnson's single-shot vaccine is strong and stable after 8 months and also offers good protection against the Delta variant. Elsewhere in Jacksonville, Florida, hospitals are canceling some elected surgeries because of surging COVID cases. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
10 minutes past the hour, about 75 degrees.
The NBA Finals continue here on KSAT 12, and the Bucks won a critical Game 4 in Milwaukee, making their series with the Suns a best-of-3. We have all the highlights just ahead.
And outside with live cam, we are on alert for possible fog out there. Some of you may already be experiencing that. We're going to check in with our experts, Stephen and Mike Osterhage, coming up. The NBA Finals continue here on KSAT and ABC. Last night, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks were looking to even up their series with the Phoenix Suns. The Bucks' Chris Middleton had himself a night, scored 40 points, including 10 straight from Milwaukee down the stretch to send them past the Suns. 109-103 to even that series 2-2. Phoenix led by 2 with 2 minutes left, but Middleton's hot hand and a big block from Antetokounmpo gave the Bucks their second straight victory in the first close game of the series. Antetokounmpo had 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists. Devin Booker scored 42 for the Suns, but his foul trouble cost them a chance to build a big lead in the second half. Chris Paul struggled through a 5-for-13 night, finishing with 10 points and 5 turnovers. The Bucks' big finish means these NBA Finals are just getting started.
Whatever we're doing here, we got to find a way to do it there. The only way we can win this series is if we get one on the road. It would be nice to get this next one, but first we got to get some rest, figure out how to clean up a couple of things, and come out and get ready to go.
All right, next up, Game 5 Saturday night in Phoenix. You can watch the game starting at 8 p.m. right here on KSAT. Game 6 is scheduled for Tuesday back in Milwaukee. Now to some baseball. Another tough night for our San Antonio Missions down in Corpus Christi. After 2 scoreless innings, the Missions took an early lead and scored a run at the top of the third. But later, San Antonio left 12 runners on base. And after 10 innings, the team lost 3-2 to the Hooks. The series continues tonight in Corpus Christi. Before climbing to the ring against Brian Castano at the AT&T Center Saturday night, the Unified Super World Welterweight Championship, Jermell Charlo visited the Boys and Girls Club of San Antonio yesterday, and he didn't come alone. He brought along the Spurs Coyote, and the kids did not leave empty-handed. Charlo surprised the kids with a cool gift.
Just chose to give them tickets because it's a brilliant thing. Maybe they'll, like I said, get inspired to be a boxer. They come to a live event, and I know San Antonio is really big on basketball, but turning into some boxing, that'll be an amazing opportunity for the kids.
So they get free tickets. You can still buy yours for the Saturday night fight at AT&TCenter.com.
Oh, and it was kind of a mess out there on I-35 and Garden Ridge. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, definitely a mess right now. We are watching a situation or a crash that's being reported right here along 35 at FM 2252. We'll get to the map in just a moment, but taking a look here at TransGuide, very difficult to make out exactly what type of crash we're looking at right now, but you can see we do have a heavy police presence, first responders out there on the scene. Even the southbound lanes are picking up, but let's go ahead and get to that map, and you can see this is off I-35 northbound at 2252. Traffic slowly building there and then coming to almost a standstill with 11 miles per hour where that crash is being reported out around Garden Ridge. So use caution out there. We'll be watching that closely, but that could be an issue as the morning starts to pick up here. Another stall still being reported out here of I-37 southbound at US 90. A right-hand shoulder still blocked because of that stall. And as we've been talking about, there are foggy conditions in certain areas, and if you're going to be navigating your way through that today, well, we do have some safety tips for driving in fog from AAA Texas. Some of the things they suggest to do is before you even get out on the road and you know that there's going to be some foggy conditions, make sure you park your car in a closed garage because that can reduce the condensation on your windshield. Of course, drive with lights on low beam. Driving with lights on a high beam could reflect that fog and could make it more difficult to see when you're out on the roadways. Obviously, keep a safe distance between you and the cars in front of you or behind you, and stay informed. Mike, of course, will always watch the weather, and we'll be watching the roads to let you know what you can be expecting. And taking one last look here at TransGuide, yeah, just a mess right now, but we'll be watching this closely and seeing how that could impact that morning drive.
Thank you, Stephen. We definitely have to watch out for that fog.
Yeah, and the other thing, again, I mean, the low beams, and watch out because it could get a little misty out there. Every once in a while, the roads could get kind of damp if there's some fog around the area. Temperatures right now, this is what you would expect this time of year, 75 degrees. That's the normal, the average low temperature in town. And other than the patchy fog, maybe a little bit of a sprinkle or some mist here and there. A couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms today once again, but rain chances are going to be down. And if you had to lean one direction, it's going to be most of those will be off to the the east. And then going into tomorrow and the weekend, again, one or two showers out there. It is going to be somewhat warmer, not extremely hot though, and then things will start to change going in toward next week. Very cool picture from Mr. McClellan out there at Woodlawn Lake, and you can see he was hoping for a rainbow because everybody else got a shot of the rainbow, but yeah, just an absolutely gorgeous picture once again after those storms passed and they cleared out quite nicely. We had some clear skies then. All right, right now, lots of clouds. We do have I was going to say a couple of thin spots here and there, but it didn't look like it as the sun's trying to come up. Visibility is still at 2/3 of a mile. Randolph, it's dropped to 2 miles now. New Braunfels and 10 at Stinson. So just kind of watch it. This is sort of hanging on the east side of town, but it also wants to kind of scooch a little bit to the west, and it probably will in the next couple of hours. Remember, yesterday we didn't have any fog for a while, and then all of a sudden, right around sunrise, it decided to move in near the airport. Down a quarter mile at Austin to New Braunfels again, and half-mile visibility in Beeville. And any rain, I mean, just a couple little sprinkly showers off to the east, and that's pretty much what computer models are indicating today. That, again, if anything does pop up, the majority of it, again, one or two of those showers are going to be confined off to the east. And that'll be, like I said, the trend going into the weekend. Fewer rain chances around here, a little bit more sunshine, a little bit warmer over the weekend. And then next week, some fairly interesting changes. 85 degrees, partly sunny skies today at noon, and high temperature today up to 90. Still 5 degrees below normal. A couple of those showers, couple thunderstorms, the majority being further off to the east, although you get one of those outflow boundaries to kind of move on through here like we had yesterday, and that can touch off some of those thunderstorms with a couple of heavier downpours. And tomorrow, same situation. Saturday, Sunday, closer to the mid 90s, 95 being the normal average high temperature. And then Monday, roughly the same situation, lower rain chances. Rain chances really going to start to pick up by the middle of the week, and temperatures will be back down just in the mid to upper 80s, 10 below normal, just about.
Can I ask you a question? This time of year, you guys are usually what you call the dog days of summer. I mean, it gets pretty monotonous other than the heat. This has got to be refreshing to be able to continue to talk about rain chances and temperatures at or below normal.
I know a lot of people, you know, a week or so ago back in May were like, okay, enough of the rain, enough of the rain. It's like, I don't know. this isn't too bad.
We know what the alternative is.
Exactly. So it's refreshing for you to report on it.
Well,
it
definitely has been. Now, sometimes each and every day are the same, but I think I'd rather be this time of year talking about, you know, rain each and every day as opposed to triple digits each and every day.
That's what we thought. We know you, Mike Osterhage.
We know you.
622, about 75 degrees.
And you will soon be able to play video games on Netflix. We have the details next.
If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and a high risk for fracture, now might not be the best time to ask yourself, are my bones strong? Life's full of make or break moments. That's why it's so important to help reduce your risk of fracture with Prolia. Only Prolia is proven to help strengthen and protect bones from fracture with one shot every 6 months.
Do not take Prolia if you have low blood calcium, are pregnant, are allergic to it, or take Xgeva. Serious allergic reactions like low blood pressure, trouble breathing, throat tightness, face, lip, or tongue swelling, rash, itching, or hives have happened. Tell your doctor about dental problems, as severe jawbone problems may happen, or new or unusual pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred. Speak to your doctor before stopping, skipping, or delaying Prolia, as spine and other bone fractures have occurred. Prolia can cause serious side effects like low blood calcium, serious infections, which could need hospitalization, skin problems, and severe bone, joint, or muscle pain.
Don't wait for a break. Call your doctor now and ask how Prolia can help you.
Microsoft putting PCs in the cloud. Windows 365 will stream Windows in a web browser, which will allow businesses to quickly access the operating system from a wide range of devices. Launches next month as more businesses continue working from home and the office.
Netflix will be in the video game business now. For a couple of years, the streaming service had been hinting that it would move into the video game space, but now it's reportedly hired a former gaming executive to lead the effort. No word on when any games will be ready for playing.
LG's much anticipated rollable TV is finally coming to the U.S. Check out this video. The 65-inch screen can roll itself up from its housing, then roll back down. It also has a partial screen display mode for info like time and weather. Pre-orders begin next month. You may need layaway, though. It is priced at $100,000.
Yeah, hefty price. But in addition to that, I would worry about all the malfunctions to look forward to. Like, what if it gets stuck and you need to watch your favorite show? Or
that is a lot of money. But of course, over time, the prices should eventually come down.
Yeah, like everything else.
626, about 75 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, we're staying on top of some late breaking news right now. A man shot in the chest by someone on his front porch. Katrina Weber is staying on top of this story and has the latest on his condition.
And Stephen Cavazos will have an update on all of that situation. Right now, we're looking at TransGuide, a whole bunch of flashing lights out there. What a big mess. We'll get an update coming up.
San Antonio police say trouble was waiting outside the door of a West Side home. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. Someone outside shot a man who lives there. I'll tell you more about it.
Outside with Live Cam, be on the lookout for fog again this morning. It's already an issue in some places. And good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, the 15th.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. We are glad it's almost Friday, but yeah, be careful out there. In some shots, we can see the fog, but in other shots, it's okay right now.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Stephen in just a moment because we have a big incident happening as we speak. But Mike begins things off as usual.
Yeah, and as far as the fog is concerned, like this picture, for instance, you know, there's hardly anything out there by the airport. Visibility is still good, but you go down the road a little further to the east over toward Randolph, and it's really going to start to thicken up. And we'll have to watch this because even yesterday, when, at this time of the morning, it wasn't too bad. And then all of a sudden, this really started to, the fog really started to move on in. Temperature right now stands at 75. The dew point, amount of moisture in the atmosphere, is at 73. So it's up there. We got obviously a lot of the relative humidity is quite high. A little bit of a breeze out of the south at 8 miles per hour. Randolph, just 2/3 of a mile, and New Braunfels has also dropped down, and this very thick fog goes all the way up I-35 in toward Austin. Stinson is still doing pretty good, and Pleasanton is still okay, but that's probably going to start to thicken up a little bit more down there around Pleasanton, Beeville, half-mile, quarter-mile around Austin, and even hints of it out to the west around Uvalde, as well as Carrizo Springs. But in and around town, especially on the east side, watch it with some of that thicker fog. And there may be a little mist on the road with that. It could be kind of damp out there. Temperatures are pretty consistent right now, close to a normal low. Right at the normal low here in town. Mold is moderate. Pigweed is on the low side. So we have some of that patchy fog, maybe a sprinkle or two, just because of some of that fog, and perhaps well off to the east. But we're not really seeing anything on radar right now. A couple of showers and thunderstorms, lesser rain chances today. And if anything does pop up, if you had to kind of point to one direction, it'd be the better chance, albeit low, is going to be further to the east. Same thing tomorrow going into the weekend. 1 or 2 showers out there. It'll start to get a little warmer with a little more sunshine going in toward the weekend. Then next week, starting Tuesday, rain chances go up. Temperatures are going to be going down. We've got a very unusual July weather system, which is going to be parked over the south central part of the country. And almost 10 degrees below normal by the middle of next week. Details in just a few moments. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos, and it's a mess out there on the east side, right?
Yeah, definitely that, Mike. I think that's a good way to put it. We're seeing this crash that's continuing to unfold right here along 35, which is a heavily traveled route, especially at this hour of the morning. But the southbound lanes are picking up, but these northbound lanes is where that crash is reported. Before we get to the map, we do want to point out there are a lot of flashing lights out there, as you can see from this image, which we are going to continue to watch. Although it is tough to make out what that crash exactly is, check out this delay that we're starting to see in our maps here. 7 miles per hour in these northbound lanes right at FM 2252. This looks like it could be around the 177 exit, so you're going to want to stop before you head there and exit 176 before you get to that crash, because you could be caught in some major delays in that particular area. Still have the stall out here off I-35 southbound at US 90. That right-hand shoulder continues to be blocked because of that stalled vehicle. But taking a look right now at our inbound times, things are still looking relatively good if you're traveling into the downtown San Antonio area. Thankfully, these southbound lanes right at 35 are not impacted. The drive time to the downtown San Antonio area is still 27 minutes coming in from 35, but bringing it back to this mess out here where it looks like it is slowly dwindling. But right now, of course, as you just saw on those maps, it is leading to some big delays. We'll continue to monitor that and hopefully find some alternative routes for you if this is part of your morning drive. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you, Stephen. Top story this morning. He knocked, shot, then ran. San Antonio police tried to track down the person who shot a man in his West Side home. It happened overnight in the 4100 block of El Paso Street near South General McMullen.
Katrina Weber is live at Public Safety Headquarters with that story. Now, Katrina, you mentioned earlier that this had to do with money.
Well, that's right, or more accurately, the lack of money. Police say the shooter wanted it, but the victim didn't have it. They found the victim, who was in his 40s, inside his home in the 4100 block of El Paso Street. Police say he was in critical condition after being shot in the chest. He told them a man knocked on his door around 3 o'clock this morning, then asked for money when he opened the door. The victim says he told him he didn't have any, and that's when the suspect pulled the trigger. The wounded man was rushed to a hospital in critical condition again, and meanwhile the shooter ran away. Police were not able to track him down. They say the only information they had is that he was wearing a dark-colored shirt. Reporting live at Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
This morning, San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers are asking for your help in solving a handful of robberies. The first one happened back on May 29th in the 4100 block of East Houston Street near the Roseville Apartments. It's located on the east side, and that's where investigators say the suspect on your screen confronted a 59-year-old man and demanded money. When that man refused, the suspect choked him and then took off.
And a suspect from another robbery still on the loose. This one happened back on June 16th at the La Poblanita Bakery. That's in the 2400 block of North Zarzamora Street on the city's west side. Investigators say the person on your screen went into the bakery and demanded money while pointing at his hand that was wrapped in a rag or shirt. He then left the scene. And a robbery at another bakery. Investigators need your help finding the man in these pictures. They say he robbed La Popular Bakery near El Paso Street and Brazos during the 4th of July. Police are not sure what he took, but they say he threatened an employee with a weapon to get what he wanted. A picture of the getaway car was also released. If you have any information that could help police solve all of these cases, call Crime Stoppers at 224-STOP. You could be eligible for a cash reward of up to $5,000. A San Antonio police sergeant is back in the spotlight more than 2 years after shooting and killing a 26-year-old Hannah Westall. Video the Bexar County District Attorney's Office was told did not exist in the case has now suddenly turned up. Westall's family is responding through their attorney and saying, in part, these troubling facts and circumstances present a compelling reason for the district attorney to reinvestigate Hannah's death and to start an investigation in how such critical evidence was withheld, end quote. Westall was killed in March of 2019. She was walking near a Northside shopping center at Huebner and Vance Jackson when confronted by Sergeant David Perry. So police say Westall pointed a gun at Perry. It turned out to be a replica that did not work. The defenders last year uncovered SAPD dash camera video that contradicted the department's narrative. The body cam video obtained by KSAT instead shows Westall repeatedly being shot without ever pointing the fake gun at the officer. Now the newly surfaced body camera footage is being reviewed by the district attorney's office. They have formally reopened their investigation and say they may present the evidence to a new grand jury. A federal wrongful death lawsuit is still pending in this case. We have more information on the story posted for you on our website at ksat.com. Texas Republican lawmakers are still showing up at the state capitol, even though more than 50 Democrats who bolted for Washington say they have no plans to return soon. GOP lawmakers are labeling Democrats as obstructionists who are blocking not just new voting measures, but widely popular proposals to lower property taxes and give teachers more money. In Washington, the Texas Democrats continue defending their decision to leave the state. Local health leaders say hospitalizations have jumped with 258 COVID-19 patients, those patients mostly who turned away the vaccine, and it reflects a national trend. In Bexar County, the positivity rate is nearly doubled in a week to more than 11%. Metro Health blames the increase on young people who are eligible but are still refusing the vaccine.
We plead with all of you to get your shots. It's free. There's multiple places to go. And you're putting our community in a jeopardy by not doing that. Health leaders say the Delta variant is here and it is more contagious. With students returning to school in about a month, there's a rush to protect those younger than 12 who can't get the vaccine and those with compromised immune systems. Metro Health has hosted roughly 300 vaccine clinics. They still have free testing and free pop-up clinics. Just head to ksat.com to see the list of locations. Around the country, the optimism that medical experts once had in the battle against COVID is beginning to fade. More people are in the hospital with COVID, and as CNN's Britt Conway reports, experts say almost all of them are unvaccinated.
He was with me one day and gone the next.
Rob Tersteeg, a husband, a father. He was 46 years old, healthy, and had no underlying conditions. But last month, he died from COVID-19.
Rob thought that he was invincible.
And he never got vaccinated.
Rob's wish was to share his story.
It's a story becoming all too familiar around the country. Hospitalizations are skyrocketing in several states. You can see those in red and dark red. The common denominator?
99+% of people in the hospital with COVID right now are unvaccinated.
And the more contagious Delta variant now accounts for nearly 60% of new infections in the U.S.
The vaccines we've got right now, the Moderna, the Pfizer, the J&J, are very effective at protecting against this Delta variant. Unvaccinated people going into hospital and dying, vaccinated people essentially not.
But right now, a little more than 56% of people who can get vaccinated are fully vaccinated. Rob regretted not being one of them.
Rob looked at me and said, "Get the kids vaccinated right away. I don't ever want to see them like this." So the kids got their first shot the next day.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Right now, 641, 75 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA. Have you heard of the Adderall generation? We're going to tell you about it after the break. And welcome back. It's about 6:45 now. Stimulant drugs like Adderall and Ritalin are often given to kids with ADHD, but what happens when those kids grow up?
David Sears has more on what's being called the Adderall generation.
For years, kids with ADHD have taken the drug Adderall to help them focus and concentrate. But today, adults are the biggest consumers, taking Adderall to focus and to keep on top of their game at work and at home.
There are kind of milder forms of addiction, but as time goes on, we know that that progresses to a more severe state.
According to the CDC, the number of adult women taking ADHD meds more than tripled from 2003 to 2015. And although women are more likely than men to be on the treatment, only half as many girls as boys take ADHD medicines. While many adults say Adderall helps them stay hyper-focused and get ahead in their careers, it doesn't come without risks. Possible side effects are nervousness, headaches, sleep problems, dizziness, dry mouth, vision changes, slowed speech, hoarseness, hallucinations, and even heart disease, high blood pressure, and seizures. You can also become addicted and experience withdrawal symptoms if you stop using it suddenly.
Over time, if addiction is present, that the use accelerates, and the person will find that they often will need to obtain those chemicals from other sources.
David Sears, KSAT 12 News.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We are keeping a close eye on the roads this morning, and we actually have a really good update to report here off 35 North. You can see that the view of TransGuide shows a pretty smooth commute right now, but if you were with us just a few moments ago, you did see a mess out there. There was a crash that was reported here in these northbound lanes, and you saw a lot of flashing lights. That is quickly resolved here, and thankfully things are picking up. However, we're seeing some residual problems when it comes to the traffic right now. Now, that crash was reported right here off I-35 northbound at FM 2252. Although it has since cleared from what we're seeing at TransGuide, again, we're seeing this traffic slow down there in those northbound lanes of 35 going up towards FM 2252. Another thing that we are speeding now are some of these stalls that are popping up here and there. This one here off I-35 northbound at South Cross Boulevard. Thankfully, that one not causing as many real issues as what we were seeing up towards 35 around Garden Ridge, but bringing it back to this shot at TransGuide where things are moving. Just take it slow out on the roads, guys. We'll be watching those southbound lanes as drivers are coming into the downtown San Antonio area. But thankfully, things are looking pretty good so far. And you can see from this conditions outside, still a little bit foggy, but Mike has more on your forecast.
Yeah, and here at the airport, fog is really not that big of an issue, but you can see off in the distance, it looks like it's starting to come at this camera, kind of like it did yesterday. Randolph still 2/3 of a mile, 2 miles visibility at New Braunfels, so that's been going back and forth just a little bit. 4 at Pleasanton and Stinson, the airport, Port SA, everything is still looking pretty good there. A lot of thick fog going up toward Austin. New Braunfels has now just gone up to 4 miles visibility, but we're still going to have to watch out for some of this to kind of invade the area or move into town over the next couple of hours. Again, yesterday when those showers and storms popped up, again, they were very spotty, but where there were some of those heavier downpours, I mean, you got an inch or even close to 2 inches of rain on the northeast side very, very quickly, and that can be the situation again today, although The majority of rain, which the only thing really showing up on radar right now is well off there to the east of us. That is where much of it is going to be today. Here's computer model, and this is that one that usually does everything with a broad brush. And as you can see, rain chances are very, it doesn't really color in that much today. So rain chances are much lower. And if anything, it will be primarily off to the east as far as any of those showers or storms that pop up. Very low rain chances today, tomorrow, over the weekend, one or two of them, Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, though, we have a pretty potent system which is going to be parked up just to the north of us, and that's really going to enhance rain chances again for the middle part of next week and also knock temperatures down. 85 today at noon, partly sunny skies, and then a high temperature up to 90. Again, one or two shower storms, mainly off to the east today, if anything does indeed pop up. Same thing tomorrow, same thing going in toward the weekend. Very low rain chances. Temperatures still aren't going to be outrageously hot. And then we have that system which is going to knock temperatures back down for the middle of next week and improve those rain chances.
Very good. Let's go ahead and wish your son a happy birthday.
Yeah, I was trying to get a picture popped up there and my tablet died on me. The battery ran out. My oldest, Jack Parker, is 19 today.
19 years old.
Happy birthday.
And what's the height now?
I'm 6 foot. He's pushing 6'3".
Wow.
Yeah, but still he's
Maybe we can get the picture because this is back when he was not.
Right. Still a little shaver.
Little.
Yeah, but of course, battery runs out the wrong time. So
that's okay. Happy birthday, Jack, from everybody at GMSA.
Snoozing right now, I'm sure.
Of course he is.
We can call him, though.
He will probably not appreciate that.
No, he wouldn't.
Let's do that off air, just to be case. Just to be safe, rather. About 10 till right now, 75 degrees.
And do you always find yourself in a rush? You're not alone, and it turns out it could even be considered an illness. Tomorrow on GMSA, details on what experts are calling hurry sickness.
Hurry sickness. Outside with live cam. We'll be right back to wrap up GMSA.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we have so many weather headlines. Iowa was just covered in tornadoes, at least 28 reported tornadoes. We'll bring you the latest pictures and information there. And then you go southwest, and the places that have been so stricken with drought now getting 4 to 5 inches of rain so quickly in just a couple of hours yesterday. The flash flooding that has taken over and the watches that are out now, at least. And nearly, actually, 70 large uncontained wildfires. Also, a big note that we have to get into. One of them is nearly 7 times the size of San Francisco. I'll be bringing you the forecast and tracking both sides of the country right here on GMA.
A West Side man says gunshots rang out soon after someone rang his doorbell. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. This happened overnight on the West Side in the 4100 block of El Paso Street. Now, San Antonio police were called there around 3 o'clock this morning. They say they found the victim inside his home with a gunshot wound in his chest. They say he told them that someone knocked on his door, and when he opened it, the man outside asked for money. He says he told him he didn't have any, and that's when the man outside shot him, wounding him in his chest. The victim was in critical condition as he was rushed to a hospital. Police say the shooter ran away before they got there. Now, they did search the area but did not find him. They say the only description they had is that he was wearing a dark-colored shirt. Reporting from Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Good morning. We are seeing some things out on our roadways and pretty good signs if you're going to be heading out the door in the next few moments. Although if you are coming up through New Braunfels on 35, we do have some slowdown that we want to let you know. A crash that was reported there off I-35 northbound at FM 2252 has quickly resolved, but still seeing some of those residual delays there. But other than that, things are looking pretty good so far, Mike.
And a lot of clear skies and a lot of those pictures. And out there at the airport off in the distance, you can see how it looks fairly fuzzy. Randolph still has a lot of thick fog. New Braunfels has improved slightly. We're still going to have to watch this over the next couple of hours and going up 35 in toward Austin. A lot of very thick fog down to a quarter-mile visibility. Same thing, Beeville. 76 right now. High temperature today. We make it up to 90. Any rain that pops up is primarily going to be well off to the east today.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. I'm on special assignment tomorrow. Max Massey is in for me, so I'll see you Monday.
Yeah, so have a good weekend. Happy early weekend early, and we'll see the rest of you guys back here at 9.